And right now, whatever posture you're in, make it soft, so a bit heavy, not too much effort. It'll be some time for effort right now. See if you can release tension. And feel yourself getting closer and closer to the ground. And then if they're not there already, get your arms to reach forward. And see if you can keep reaching fingertips away from sit bones. Keeping your sit bones heavy where they are and just walking your fingers away from them. Maybe you begin to feel a bit more action through your arms, your elbows, your forearms might be off the ground. Your palms could be off the ground too, and just your fingertips on the mat. And then keep sending your sit bones towards your heels. Take another full breath in. Full breath out. And then walk your hands towards the left side. Keep your right sit bone well planted. Reach a bit more through your right fingers. And now feel the length, the space in the right side of your body. In these side planks I was talking about, we want to create some space in the side body. So hopefully you'll feel it here and you'll feel it also when we get to those poses. And then as you inhale, walk your fingers back through center and then take them over towards the right. And then see if you can walk your left fingers just a little further. So now it's the left side of your body that gets the extra space. Think about the distance between your fingers or the line from your fingers all the way to your left sit bone. And imagine that area stretching out. And then walk those fingers back through center. Pause here. Allow yourself to get floppy for a moment. So allow your arms to drop, your head to drop. Find softness once again. Take a full breath in. And take a long breath out. And then with your next inhale, we're going to lift into a table pose, bringing those hands under shoulders and those knees under hips. Toes are untucked for a moment here, tops of the feet are pressing down, and then as you come into cow pose, dropping the belly, lifting the chest, tuck your toes and give the soles of the feet a stretch. And then as you exhale and round the spine, untuck those toes, press the tops of the feet into the mat. And do that a few more times. Inhale for your cow pose, stretching soles of feet. Exhale for cat. Tops of the feet to the mat, rounding spine. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And rounding spine on the exhale. And then find a neutral spine. We're staying on hands and knees, but we're going to work on the wrists a bit. So turn your left fingers towards the left side and your right fingers towards the right. Your thumbs are pointing forward. And then from here, just shift your torso from side to side. You can use your inhale to bring the torso through center, and then exhale as you shift to the left. Center as you inhale, exhale as you shift to your right. Press through those fingers one more time each side. Feel that extra stretch, bit of pressure on the wrist. And then come back through center. Now turn your fingers to point towards your knees. Left fingers, right fingers. Your thumbs now are pointing out. And then as you inhale, drop the belly, lift through your chest, coming into a cow pose. And then as you exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. See if you can feel that extra stretch through the inner part of the wrist and forearm. Inhale again into cow. And exhale into cat. One more time, just like that. Inhale. and round, exhale. And then neutral spine, turn your fingers again to point out to the sides and then to point forward. And then last variation, fingers are going to point towards one another. So left fingers pointing towards the right, right fingers pointing towards the left. And then from here, we're going to go again from side to side. So take a full breath in at center. And then as you exhale, shift towards your left. See if you can keep your right wrist down. And then as you inhale, come back through center and shift towards your right. Keep pressing through the base of your left hand. One more time each side. Breath in, exhale, and breath in, and shift other side. And then as you inhale back through center, we're coming to face forward with those fingers and coming back into a child's pose or any version of child's pose. You can keep your chest somewhat lifted and then bring your forearms down, interlace those fingers, palms together, and then roll your wrists out in one direction and then in the other. And then release those wrists. Find again your child's pose, dropping the head, pausing here. Breathe in and breathe out. One more inhale and exhale. And then with your next inhale, coming forward, planting those hands, tucking your toes, and coming all the way into downward facing dog. So after working on those wrists, down dog hopefully feels not so stressful on those wrists because your angle, the angle at your wrist is not that 90-degree angle, it's a bigger angle. So it allows you to send a bit more weight into your fingers rather than straight into the base of your hand and your wrist. Okay? So make a point here of pressing through the fingerprints and then through the base of your fingers. Don't let your weight just drop into the wrist. Send your sit bones up and back. Find a little bend in your knees. Maybe chin draws towards the chest. Take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. And then on your inhale, walking your feet towards your hands towards your feet. And we're finding a forward fold at the top of the mat. Hands can grab opposite elbows, the bend in those knees. Your chest might rest on your thighs. And then we're just going to sway forward and back gently. Notice your weight going onto the heels, a bit more than onto the balls of the feet and the toes. And then sway a bit from side to side. So pinky toe side and big toe side. Gently here, breathe in. And breathe out. And then find stillness and bring those hands to your hips, chin towards your chest. With a bend in those knees, begin to unroll your spine, stacking one vertebra over the other as we make our way up to stand. Once you get to stand, just take a moment, shoulders away from ears, arms by your side. Find that steady gaze. Find once again your breath, taking a full breath in into that chest. And a full breath out, drawing belly to spine. As you inhale, reach your arms overhead. And then on your exhale, right arm down by your side, side stretch, reaching up and over. Back through center on the inhale, taking it over to the other side as you exhale. Back through center, inhale, and now bring those hands behind you, interlace them at your lower back, open up the fronts of the shoulders, inhale. As you exhale, we're folding forward, a bend in those knees, hands at the lower back, fold. And then once you're in your fold, maybe again lift those hands away from you towards the ceiling, straightening those elbows. Release the hands, halfway lift, inhale, neutral spine. And on your exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, downward facing dog. Now in your downward facing dog, take an inhale, lift your heels. And then as you exhale, bend your knees and just hover your knees over the mat. So you're sending your sit bones up and back still. And then straighten those legs, drop the heels. Let's do that movement again. Inhale, lift onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend your knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, straighten those legs, lift those sit bones, heels towards the mat. Okay, one more time, just like that. Notice the moving those legs. Inhale, lift those heels. Exhale, bend the knees, lower those knees towards the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten those legs, lift those sit bones, lower the heels back into your regular downward facing dog. Take an inhale. And now on your exhale, lower the knees all the way down. You're coming into your table pose. Hands under shoulders, spread those fingers. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. 2 more, just like that. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And round. Exhale. Now finding a neutral spine, we're going to begin to work on those hips and working on that movement that will stack the hips in those side planks. So as you inhale, your left leg will rise. And then bend that knee. And then we're going to take the knee out to the side, towards the elbow, towards that left elbow, and then underneath us, and then straight up. And then again out to the side. So it's those circles, but we're really slowing it down and controlling them. And again out to the side, towards the elbow, pointing down, and then up. And then again, one more time in that direction, slowing things down. And then from here, switch directions. So you're drawing the knee in, and then out, and then back, up, down, in, out, back, up. One more time, just like that. And then the next time that you've got the knee out to the side, see if you can pause here. Okay, so it's kind of 90-degree angles with your knee and your ankle, your hip. Breathe in. And then on your exhale, with control, lower that knee all the way to the ground. Back into table pose, take a cow and a cat. Inhale. Round the spine, exhale. And then we're going for the right side. So neutral spine, same idea here. As you inhale, bring that knee out to the side, back, down, towards your elbow, and out to the side, back, up, down, towards the elbow. Find that again. Slowing this movement down. And then from here, switch direction. Same idea. Slow down, like you're doing sections of a circle. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And then the next time that your knee is out to the side, those more or less 90-degree angles, pause there. Push through both hands, breathe in, and breathe out. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, slowly with control, lower that right knee all the way down to the mat. Nice job. As you inhale, drop the belly, bring the chest forward. And then on your exhale, round your spine and come onto your fingertips. Bring the hands closer to your knees. Chin towards your chest, and then push the floor away with those fingers. Breathe in and breathe out. One more. Inhale and exhale. And then plant those hands once again. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Sending those sit bones up and back. And now find some space between your feet. So bring your feet more or less shoulder width. or maybe even a little wider. And then with your next inhale, we're going to lift those heels. So again, you're coming onto the balls of the feet. Think about sit bones reaching up. And then as you exhale, drop the heels towards your right. So you're turning your toes towards the left. And then inhale, come back onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. And then as you exhale, drop your heels towards the left side. Your toes turn towards the right. So do that again. Inhale, center. You're still in that downward facing dog shape. Exhale, heels to the right, toes point left. And inhale, center. And exhale, heels to the left and toes point to the right. Now as you inhale, come back through center. And on your exhale, lower again your knees coming into your table pose. So a little movement there was with the hips and those legs. Now as you inhale, chest forward, gaze up. And on your exhale, round your spine and come all the way towards child's pose. Sit bones towards your heels. And we'll find that movement 2 more times. Inhale, come up, cow pose, chest forward, gaze up. Exhale, round your spine and send sit bones towards heels. 1 more time, just like that. You could do this with toes tucked or untucked. You choose. Inhale. And round, exhale. And now with your next inhale, coming through table and lifting those knees, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your feet towards your hands. And exhale, forward fold, holding onto opposite elbows. Take 3 cycles of breath right here. Dropping the head towards the floor, little bend in those knees. Full breath in. And full breath out. And then inhale. And exhale. With your next inhale, release those elbows, bend into your knees, coming into a chair pose, reaching your arms by your ears. And on your exhale, bringing hands to your heart. Pause, weight into your heels, maybe lift all 10 toes, spread them out. Take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. With your next inhale, push the floor away, reach your arms all the way up, left arm down, side stretch. Inhale back through center. Exhale, right arm down, other side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, left foot is going to step back, warrior 2. Planting the whole of that back foot. You've got it at an angle, so small, slightly or mostly towards the outer edge of your mat. Front knee bent, reaching your arms forward and back. Remember, in your warrior 2, your feet are on the same track. So you're trying to more or less align your front heel with the arch of the back foot. And that requires a bit of balance to come into play. So make sure that you're feeling stable through your legs. Belly draws towards the spine. Front palm is going to turn up and reach it up and back for reverse warrior. Lengthening that right side of the body. You're staying bent through that right knee. And then as you exhale, come forward, forearm to thigh, side angle, left arm by your ear. Lengthen that left side of the body. Let's do this 2 more times. Your own breath. Inhale takes you all the way into reverse. Get that side stretch, right side. Exhale takes you all the way into side angle, left side. Now gets that space. 1 more time. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. Exhale and find side angle. Pausing here. We're going to stay in this side angle. We're going to work that left shoulder a bit more. So take a full breath in. On your exhale, left arm drops in front of you, palm is facing in. Bring it all the way by the side body and then take it all the way up and by your ear. Do that 1 more time, just like that. Inhale. Exhale. And then switch direction. Bring it by the side body, in front of you, forward and up by your ear. And 1 more time. Now with your next inhale, rise all the way up, straighten that front leg, arms reach forward and back, hinging through that right hip. Reach as if you were reaching over a counter, and then lower that right hand. Here, hand can come to thigh, to shin. If you've got your block, it might come onto the block. Left arm is going to go in the opposite direction. Think about lengthening both sides of the body. So usually the top side here, the left side, gets a good stretch. But sometimes what happens is that we tend to round into the right side. See if you can lengthen it forward. And if that means coming higher on your hand, do that. You get more space in that right side. Full breath in. So don't think about going too far down with your hand. Full breath out. With your next inhale, rise up, turn your toes towards the long edge of the mat. You've got more or less pigeon toe feet. And then hands to your hips, open up chest, inhale. And on your exhale, reach that chest forward and down. Hands release to shins, to floor, to blocks. Halfway lift, neutral spine, reach forward. Exhale, fold, head towards the floor. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Find a nice bend in those knees. Bring your hands to your hips, chin to chest, and slowly make your way up. Once you are up, your right toes turn again towards the top of your mat. You're coming into those warrior 2 legs, warrior 2 arms. Reach through those fingers. Draw belly to spine. Nice job. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, see if this works. Hands to the mat and step your front foot back, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Once again, find some space between your feet so they come maybe shoulder width or so. And then we're going to do that same thing we did before. Lift your heels on the inhale and then drop your heels to the right as you exhale. So feel the stretch in the left side of your body as you do this. And now as you inhale, come back through center, heels lift, and then drop them towards the left. Right side of the body gets a stretch, push through the hands. 1 more time each side. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, and other side, exhale. Now as you inhale, come back through center, and on your exhale, lower your knees to the mat, and coming back into your table pose. Take an inhale, belly lowers, chest forward, gaze up, spread your sit bones. Exhale, round that spine. 2 more with your own breath. And then find a neutral spine. And we're going to do a similar movement to what we did before with those circles with the hips. But this time we're going to loosen up through the hips. So we're going to add a bit of turn with the gaze and the torso. So with your next inhale, lift your left leg out behind you. And then as you exhale, draw that left knee towards your left elbow. And then look over towards that knee or towards that foot. Look over towards the left. And then send that leg out behind you. And then cross that knee towards your right elbow. And then look over towards the right. So allow the torso to turn some as you do this. Inhale, lengthen. So you're freeing up your hips here. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. And you can look back. Let your hips kind of shift a bit towards the right. Inhale, lengthen, and then towards your right elbow, and let your hips shift a bit towards the left. 1 more time, just like that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee towards your left elbow. Lengthen, and towards your right elbow. And then as you inhale, lengthen, and then lower that knee all the way down. We'll do the same thing with the right side. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right knee towards right elbow, gaze towards that knee, towards the foot. Inhale, lengthen. Knee towards the left elbow, find a little turn here. And then again, lengthen. Right elbow. Lengthen. Left elbow. And one more each side. And then as you inhale, lengthen, lower that knee all the way down, exhale. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Full breath in and full breath out. And now walking those feet towards the hands towards the feet, folding forward, top of the mat. Take a moment here, breath in and breath out. Maybe one more just like that. And then bend into both knees. On your inhale, rise into chair, arms by your ears. And as you exhale, hands lower to your heart. Wiggle your toes, weight into those heels, draw belly to spine. And then use your next inhale to push the floor away, lift those arms. Exhale, right arm down, side stretch. Coming back through center, inhale, take it over to the other side, exhale. Back through center, inhale, and we're going into our warrior two sequence on this right side. So right foot now is going to step back, plant it, set yourself up. Take your time here to set your base. Okay, once again, that same track, and remember, it's it can become a bit of a balance pose, so make sure that you stay strong through those legs. And then once you've got your legs set, reach your arms forward and back. Take space, lengthen, broaden chest. Lift that lower belly up and in. With your next inhale, reverse warrior, front palm turns up. Reach it up and back. Think about that space in the left side of the body, left waist. Exhale, come forward, side angle, right arm comes by your ear. Two more times here, your own breath. Inhale takes you reverse. Exhale takes you into your side angle. Last one, inhale, reverse. And exhale, side angle. We're pausing here. Okay? Notice the space, the stretch in the right side of your body, and then let's work with that right shoulder. So that right arm is going to come by the side body, in front of you, and then up by your ear, and then again, side body, down, up by your ear. And then let's switch direction. And then the next time that your arm is by your ear, pause there. Find again that extra stretch through the right side of the body. And then with your next inhale, rise up, straighten that front leg, reaching those arms forward and back. Hinge through your left hip, reach. And then left hand lowers. And again, don't think about too far down. Sometimes actually it's better higher up so that your chest stays open and you can lengthen both sides of the body. The lower you go, the more rounding there will be through the left side, and it will be more difficult to create space there. And another thing that happens when you go too low is your chest begins to turn towards the floor. And then sometimes what we do is we compensate with the shoulder and the arm, and we crank open the front of the shoulder. And sometimes that doesn't feel that great. So wherever you are, find a full breath in. Find a full breath out. One more, just like that. Inhale. Exhale. And then press through those legs. We're rising up. Hands come to the hips. Turn the toes to face the longer edge of the mat. Take a full breath in. Open up that chest. And then as you exhale, hinging through the hips, chest forward and down. Press through outer edge of feet. Release those hands. They can come to your shins. They could come to blocks or to the floor. Halfway lift, lengthen forward. Exhale and fold. 2 more. And last one. Inhale. And fold. Exhale. Bend in those knees, hands to your hips, chin to the chest. Slowly unroll that spine and coming all the way up to stand. Coming back into your warrior 2 stand. So left toes turn towards the short edge of the mat. Those arms reach forward and back. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, we're coming into downward facing dog. Hands can come to the ground. Step that front foot back. And lift those sit bones up and back. Breath in. And breath out. Another inhale. And another exhale. And then with your next inhale, we're going to come out into a plank pose. So bringing those shoulders over those wrists. Take a breath in here. On your exhale, lowering your knees. So you're not in a table pose now. You're in a plank pose, but with your knees down. So knees are behind hips. You can stay with your feet on the ground, or you might lift your feet and cross your ankles. If you're lifting your feet, find some tension here. So think about sending your feet away from your hips. Okay? And then crown of the head is going to reach forward all along. Elbows are going to bend by the rib cage, and see if you can really control the descent. Slowing down the lowering of that belly and that chest, and see if the chest can drop at the same time as the belly or even before the belly. And once you're down on the ground, release those feet. Hands are under shoulders. Let's just take a little cobra here. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze stays down. Exhale, lower. Let's do 2 more. Gentle, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Remember to use your legs. And 1 more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. All the way down onto your mat. Take a moment here. Bring forearms in front of you. Rest the forehead on them. And then relax your legs, heels out. Maybe the big toes touch. You can wiggle your hips a bit from side to side. Full breath in. And full breath out. And another inhale. And exhale. So from here, we're going to come onto the side body. So let's start with coming onto the left side of the body. And for this, you're going to bend both knees. Okay, so you're going to stack the legs. I said that side planks, one of the things that has to happen is the stacking of hips, one hip over the other. So we're getting into kind of that position, but this time the whole body is supported by the ground. Whatever you need to do to support your head here, whether it's bending your elbow and holding your head in your hand, or extending your arm, resting the head onto the arm, you choose. And then your right hand can act as support, so you could have it in front of your chest planted. Left knee is going to stay bent, and then your right leg, the one that's on top, is going to lengthen out. And we're just going to work on that outer hip a bit here. So with the leg long, begin to make some circles, keeping it up in the air, and start with small circles. What you want to try and do here is to push your hips forward. So don't let your bum stick out behind you. Knee is extended as best you can, and you could do this with the toes pointed or with the foot flexed. You started in one direction, and then see if you can make those circles a bit bigger. Slowing it down, just like we did before with the knee bent in those table poses. We're slowing down the movement. That's going to work on strength, control, rather than momentum and just letting gravity take control. And then switch direction. See if you can keep with these bigger circles in the opposite direction. And then begin to make those circles smaller. So feeling that outer hip work. As best you can, keep the rest of the body still. And then find stillness and bend that knee and rest that leg on the other leg. Take a moment here, full breath in and full breath out. And we'll give it now a little stretch for the quad and the front of the hip. So right from here, your right hand, see if it can reach the right foot, pinky toe side, and then draw the heel towards the glute as you point the knee away from you. Breathe in and breathe out. One more inhale and exhale. And then releasing that foot, coming all the way onto the belly. Keep your feet pointing up. You can come onto your forearms. Head can rest on the forearms. And then just let your knees just drop from side to side. Breathing in and breathing out. So we're going to do this work now on the other side. So as you're ready, you'll come onto the right side of the body, and I'm just going to switch direction here. And the same idea, so knees are going to be bent, anything that you need to do to support your head. And now your left hand is your support here on the ground in front of your chest. Okay. Your bottom leg is also your support for balance, so use that to keep you stable. So when the other leg is doing the circle, sometimes the body tends to shift side to side a bit or front back. So try to press down through the bottom leg. So as you are ready, on the inhale, the left leg is going to extend, and then begin with your small circles here. Again, try to push your hips forward. Keep your chest open. And then begin to make them a bit bigger. Slowing things down so that you're controlling the movement. Like in this case, it's better to do less circles and with more control rather than to do more circles fast. So that you're really activating those outer hip thigh muscles. With these bigger circles, now we're going to switch direction. Keep that leg active, the knee is extended, strong bottom leg pressing down. And use your left hand to support you here. And then go to smaller circles with this left leg. Breath in. And breath out. Bend that left knee, rest that leg on the other leg. Take another inhale. Exhale, notice any sensations. And then let's take that quad stretch. So left hand is going to reach for that left foot. Pinky toe side, top of the foot with your fingers, and then draw that heel in towards the glute. Send your knee away from you, maybe back a bit. That breath in and breath out. One more, just like that. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to release that left foot. Knees stay bent. Come again onto the belly. Forearms in front of you. Rest the forehead on them. And again, just let your feet drop from side to side. Full breath in. And full breath out. So the version of side plank we're going to do today is one on forearms and knees. Okay, so we'll start with the on the left side. So again, I'm going to switch. So we're going to come onto the left side of the body, and once again, same position that we were before with those knees. So the knees are going to be bent and stacked, but then instead of coming we're coming onto the forearm, and we're going to place the elbow under the shoulder. So you're going to be lifted through the left side of the body, right? Your hips and your left leg right now are still on the ground, okay? And your forearm, use it as a kickstand. So have your forearm more or less parallel to the top of your mat and your hand well planted. Once again, your right hand can support you here. You want to have your knees close enough to your hips so that we're going to try and lift those hips off the ground, okay? So you're pushing through the forearm and you're pushing through the outer part of your bottom knee. So when you're ready, on the inhale, lift those hips. Again, your right hand can support you here, or if that right hand can come free, reach it all the way up towards the ceiling. So more or less diagonal line through knees, hips, shoulders, crown of the head. Breathing in and breathing out. Draw those hips forward, so don't let your bum stick out behind you. And then another version here, if you opt for it, lengthen your right leg and plant it. So your right knee now will be lifted. Full breath in and full breath out. Keep pushing the hips up. One more inhale. And then as you exhale with control, lower those hips, lower the hand, come again onto your belly. Forearms, take a moment here if you want, knees bent, and again flip-flopping those feet from side to side, or just keeping the legs long on the mat, moving those hips a bit. Releasing any tension that maybe you don't need at this moment. Full breath in and full breath out. So same thing now on the other side. So rolling onto your right side, knees are bent once again, and then forearm plants, elbow in line with your shoulder. So that's going to be key. If your elbow is too far forward, it's going to make it a lot more difficult to lift, and it's going to be too much strain on that shoulder. Okay, so really bring it in. Plant the hand, left hand again to support you if you need it. And then when you're ready, lift those hips. Try to align your knees, your hips, and your elbow. Okay? And then open up the front of the body. So push those hips forward. Maybe that left arm gets free and you can reach it up towards the ceiling. Maybe you keep it down and it helps and it supports you here. If you need a block, bring a block under that left hand. Full breath in. We're pushing hips up. Full breath out. You could stay here, or it might be a good idea to lengthen your left leg out, and maybe you plant your left foot. Breath in. Breath out. Another inhale. And another exhale. Last one. And then with control, lower those hips. Coming again onto that belly. And this time, lengthen your arms out in front of you. Reach your fingers away from your toes. Make yourself as long as is available. Take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. One more inhale. And exhale. And then bring those hands under your shoulders and through all fours, make your way into child's pose. Sit bones towards heels, chest towards thighs, head towards floor. Anything you want to do with your arms. Full breath in. Mouth open, exhale. The shoulders are feeling a bit tired from those side plank movements. Your arms by your side might be a good idea. Palms facing up and allowing the fronts of the shoulders to drop towards the ground. So relaxing that upper body. Another breath. And then with your next inhale, slowly lifting that spine. And then coming onto those knees, moving your feet to the side. And with control, lowering those sit bones all the way behind you. And bringing your feet all the way in front of you. We're going to go into we're going to go straight to our backs and we'll stretch out a little bit the outer hips. So plant the feet, bring those arms in front of you, take a full breath in, lengthen up, and then on your exhale, come halfway down. See if you can broaden chest. Once again, draw the shoulder blades towards one another, breathe in. Exhale, lower, lower back, lower mid back, lower upper back, and lower head. Bring those knees into the chest for a moment. Find a little circling. At the same time, loosen the neck, chin towards one shoulder, then towards the other. Maybe circle in the opposite direction. And then plant your left foot, the left knee stays bent, and cross your right ankle just over that left thigh, coming into a figure four. You could stay here, work your left knee away from you. Keep it active. Push the left leg into the right thigh and then the right thigh back into that left ankle. Or bring that whole structure in towards you, towards the chest. You could do it without using your hands, or you could add your hands. Left hand behind the left thigh, right hand resist, push the right knee away. Breath in, breath out. As you do this figure four, just keep your back body neutral on the ground. Keep your jaw relaxed, your eyes relaxed. And then if you've got the structure lifted, lower that left foot down. Release that right foot, and we're switching sides. So right knee stays bent, cross that left ankle just over that right thigh. Remember, your ankle bone is just off your thigh, and you want to keep your ankle in more or less a neutral flexion. Okay, so your toes are drawing towards your shin. And then you could stay here. It's quite a bit of work just with your legs to push that left knee away. So notice that. But you could also bring this whole structure in towards the chest. And you could do it with hands or without hands. And see if you can feel that glute stretch, some outer hip. And once again, softness around the face. And steady, smooth breath. Take another breath in. And then on your exhale, if that right foot is lifted, lower it back down. And then undo this figure four, both feet onto the ground. Bring those knees in and let's go straight into a happy baby. Knees go wide towards armpits. You could stay here, heels heavy, or you could lift the feet towards the ceiling, but keep your knees drawing towards your armpits. Your hands might climb up, but again, if that means that the shoulder blades lift up, you might want to stay with your hands a bit lower, maybe at the back of your knees. Full breath in and full breath out. And then your happy baby, releasing, planting your feet, maybe outer edges of your mat and letting your knees rest against one another. Just bringing your hands to your belly and just tuning into that breath, making it a bit more obvious, allowing the inhales to expand that belly into hands. And then letting your exhales draw the belly away from your hands and maybe feeling a little bit more space in the lower back. You could take a couple more cycles like that, a bit more emphasis, a bit longer breath. And then whenever you're ready, finding Shavasana, finding these last moments of practice in stillness. And setting yourself up to stop the doing for just a few minutes. So make sure that you are comfortable enough, warm enough. And then maybe signal the end of the doing with a open mouth exhale, releasing any extra effort or tension. And then allowing softness to take over. And trusting the ground to support you, hold you. And nothing else to do right now. And then bringing once again your awareness, your attention to your breath. Notice your next inhale, feel it in the body. Notice your exhale and feel that air leaving the body. And then with that breath, begin to move your fingers, move your toes, move your ankles and your wrists. Move your neck, so chin from shoulder to shoulder. Maybe take a swallow, maybe move your eyes. You might even stretch your arms overhead on the inhale. And if you're on your back, you might roll onto one side on your exhale, holding here the head with your arms, knees towards the chest. Give yourself a breath in. And find an open mouth exhale. And then using your hands, we'll rise up. We'll find a comfortable seat. We'll end practice together. You can bring hands to your heart. Find that lifted, lengthened spine, shoulders away from ears. And let's take this moment to acknowledge the practice. And then we'll acknowledge ourselves for practicing. We'll acknowledge those who practice with us anytime. And then all those who make it possible. And as always, we'll end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.